anything. It could be an online English teaching, the software or the audience for the software as a service business that we built before, or now it could be authors for my other project, or it could be founders for my books, right? Just want to be more engaged in these communities to become not just more of a learner, but also more of a teacher. So I can share more of what I know with people. And building in public to me is teaching by doing. It's not teaching by standing in front of a class and lecturing. It's actually teaching through action. Like you say, this week, I'm going to talk to 20 people about this feature that I want to build. And then a week later, you say, well, I talked to 20 people. 15 said, well, I don't really think I would pay for this. That sucks. But at least you taught everybody who listened that audience exploration and validation of your feature idea can lead to invalidation, and it can actually prevent you from building something that you shouldn't have built, right? So even though you might fail and the whole business might fail, you as an expert, you always climb up. As the person, your personal brand, as a founder, as somebody who's a domain expert, or as somebody who's a tribe, a leader in a tribe, leader in the community, that always climbs up, even if you fail, because you learn in public. And I think if you don't, then you not only do you miss out on other people helping you with your problems, you also miss out on elevating yourself in your community. I know that not everybody wants to be an expert in their community, and that is also fine. But there's certain kind of benefits that come with being a noticed expert in any community. You get invited onto podcasts. You get asked questions that might allow you to think about things differently. People ask you for help. People ask you to join their projects. People ask you to be on their board. People ask you to all the different kind of things just because they know you did not fear public humiliation by failing. You were there, you went through it, and you came out stronger on the other side. And that is why I feel motivated to do everything I do in public, because first off, sometimes people just reach out to me in an email telling me their opinion on stuff. And many, many times, this is something that I hadn't considered before, the thing they write about. So all of a sudden, people give me some really meaningful consulting, essentially for free, just because I talked about it in public. And you could pay good money for this if you were to go to a consultant, but by being a part of a discourse, this comes just from people's engagement because they like you. They like what you're building, or they like the industry you work in, and they want to share their 2 cents. They want to give you their opinion. There's so many more benefits than potential risks. There's always risks, right? Building in public risks you being copied, your product being cloned, people building it better than you. But hey, if somebody can build a better product in an industry that you chose, maybe you chose the wrong industry. Right? Maybe you're not really dedicated enough to that industry. Maybe you just thought you could make some good money, but you don't really care about it as much. So somebody else spent a bit more time and made a much better product. There's always risks in being public, and there's the risk of humiliation. And if you come from a culture where you don't talk about failure and you don't celebrate it, you don't necessarily have to celebrate it. You just have to understand it as a mode of bettering yourself. But if your culture forbids this, if you only boast, right? If that's the only thing you do, it's hard to do it. But it's a global community. People will understand that failure is an option. And again, maybe if you talk to people and they don't like you, then they're not your audience. So who cares, right? They just pick somebody else. So I think building in public is absolutely valuable, more valuable than it has drawbacks or risks.